Just welcome to Cross Yoga. I'm Ria and I'm here to guide you through a Cross Yoga slow class today. That means taking more breath in each posture, and for some that's really calming and nice, and be able to really ground and notice what happens in the body in each posture. Welcome to take a seat, and I will share today a theme that is around the shortest scripture in Bible, just 2 words. But let me come back to that. You are welcome to close your eyes and find the seat that serves your body the best. Sighing out, or even shaking your arms if that feels like you want to do that, release some tension or surrender anything. Is there anything in your frontal lobe, as we sometimes say, like in your mind, that you want to speak to God about, or the higher powers? You can do that in your mind. Maybe releasing some worries or anything. And if you're ready to breathe, just a moment of these deep belly breaths and also chest breaths. Try to do that with me. Inhale through your nose into the side of the ribs, into the side of the waist. Let everything expand, and as you exhale through your nose, let everything settles back. Relax your shoulders, keep breathing slow and deep. Making sure you empty your breath completely before you take the next inhale. And you are invited to move if you don't want to sit still and breathe, as I share a story from the Bible. If you want to move, you can do circle arms to the side. If you know something else that you want to do, you are welcome to do so, but do it slow, connecting with your breath. So however you want to sit, you might envision this: Jesus is walking around with his disciples, friends, and group of people following along. He hears that a good friend of his, Lazarus, is sick, and his 2 good friends, Mary and Martha, their siblings, the 3 of them, are calling for Jesus to come and help. But Jesus is delayed. And when he enters the place where Lazarus and Martha and Mary was living, he learns that Lazarus actually died. And both Mary, Martha, and the group of people in different times ask Jesus, saying, "Why did you not come before? My brother Lazarus would not have died if you had arrived before." People are crying, desperate, in grief. And this is where we hear the shortest scripture. It says, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. After this, Jesus, according to the story, actually resurrects Lazarus, brings him back to life. But Jesus is crying. I don't know if that maybe break the image a little bit of what Jesus was like. Picturing Jesus crying. If you're ready to move, you can bring your right hand down and go with your left arm overhead. We're warming up with a little bit of flow. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Go to the left side, your left side. Inhale, use the core. And we're not going to deep stretches. We're simply just trying to move the spine, move the muscles of the waist. Then the last time to the left. Welcome to do some free seated movements. That might include stretching out your legs. If you have been seated on a chair, you might come down on the mat. If you happen to have a strap or a scarf or something nearby, you might want to have that just placed by your mat so you can come back to that if you like. You might find tabletop and do a couple of movements here. If you're into downward facing dog by now, you can bring your hands further to the front, tuck the toes under, lift the hip up and back for your downward facing dog. Moving. And let me guide you through a little bit of a warming sequence before I slow things down a little bit. So bring yourself into plank and then bring the knees down somewhat close to your hands so you get into tabletop as best as you can. Your hands might be a little bit more in front of your shoulders, but all that is good. You can adjust if you like. Right leg, kick that leg back, left hand forward and make sure that the belly is in so you have this straight spine. Knee and elbow in, and here you bring the spine up towards the sky. Extend this out again before you lower hand and knee down. Opposite side, left leg, right hand. I like my thumb up as I bring the arm forward. Knee, elbow, cat with your spine. Lots of balance here. Bring it out, horizontal again, and then down. Arms pretty wide. Bring the knees off. Hold it just for a second if you possibly can. Just hovering over the mat with the knee. And then back to down dog. Doing that again. Maybe you want to connect with the breath as I do here. Inhale to plank. And exhale, find a tabletop variation. Right knee, left hand, or opposite. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee, elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it down. Other side, inhale, extend. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, knee, elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower it down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, hover the knees as you take a deep inhale. Exhale to your down dog. Do that just one more time. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knee down. Right hand, left leg. Inhale, extend. Bird dog. Exhale, knee, elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower down. Move as slow as me here. If you're quicker, slow down. Inhale, extend, other side. strong shoulder. And that arm that is pushing down, extend again. Bring it down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, hover the knees. Exhale, down dog. And then you might adjust, just 2 breaths here in down dog. And then walk to the top of the mat, fold forward. Slowly rise to mountain pose. So 3 times in this story, people are asking Jesus, why did you not intervene earlier? Why did you not come and do something? Why? And maybe we have these questions as well. Jesus, why something? Standing tall, lifting right knee up, and you might take a hold of the right knee if you can. You can boost the left arm out. And then we'll be standing here breathing a little bit. There might be activation going on in your ankle, your knee, your hip. Nonetheless, lift up through the crown of the head. Breathe. Maybe experiment with not holding so firmly on your knee if you like. One more breath. Let the right knee go. Bring it to the back end of the mat for a high lunge. Tuck the toes under. If you have something with your back foot, you can do Warrior One, where you ground the whole foot down a little bit out to the side. But if you want to go for high lunge, sink down, drag the front knee over the ankle, arms up overhead. Noticing that you are really pushing through the front heel. Sinking the hip down, maybe a little bit further, but without sticking the tailbone out to the side. That might require you to bend the back knee there a little bit, your right leg. Can you feel the front thigh? Maybe the back, the hamstring of the front leg. Just one more breath. And slowly bring your hands down on the mat. Take the left leg, that's the one in front, up and back for 3-legged dog. If this is like, nah, please don't make me do that, you can do tabletop and just lift the right leg up and back. All right, so do that if you're not into downward facing dog. Hip is closed in this 3-legged dog. Toes pointing down on the left foot. Create space between your arms, your ears. Let the fingertips find the floor. One more breath. And then left knee down on the mat. You might fold the mat, or if you have a blanket, you can definitely use that. I like to fold my mat. And then you bring your right knee out, or right leg out to the side. I will turn around my mat. You don't have to, unless you want to. But your right leg is out, gate lash pose. Get this distance here, or this length alignment, heel, leg, knee, shoulder, and arm. Hold on to the thigh. And then just move from the waist over to the right side. Nothing else moves. Some of us might need to engage the pelvic floor a little bit. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can bring both arms up overhead like you're holding onto some kind of balloon here. Take one more breath. You might feel that on the side of the ribs. And then last posture in this one, sweeping it all the way to the other side. So your left hand comes down, maybe on the short end of the mat if you haven't moved like me. But the left hand, left knee, and right foot is in one straight line. Take a hold of your shoulder and bring it up on top of the other one. And then this arm up overhead like a banana shake. Oh, I love this posture. And there's no right or wrong with your head. You can look down, you can look to the side or up. A little bit of a micro bend in the left elbow so you're not hyperextending there. Release. And in one way or the other, you simply just crawl around on the mat. It can be tabletop, it can be down dog, or child's pose. Knees a little bit out to the side of the mat. And you bring your hip back and down. So Jesus was late, and that's why they asked, why did you not come before? Have you ever experienced where you felt like Jesus or help was delayed or just too late? And that has been the reason why you have been maybe crying out, saying, why, God? Maybe you are just waiting, like Mary and Martha was waiting for Jesus. When will he show up? Bring your hands again to the front of the mat. Downward facing dog. You can stay here for approximately 4 breaths, or if you're into vinyasa, moving a little bit more, you can go with me for a plank. You might inhale, maybe not. Exhale, toes and knees lower down with a straight spine. Inhale your cobra or your up dog. Exhale to your down dog. So again, you can choose to stay in your down dog or go for one more of these. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Go to the front of the mat and fold forward with the knees bent as much as you like. And then rise up again. The sequence on the other side, of course. So standing tall, your left knee up. If you feel like balancing is not so available, of course you can stay with your foot down and just kind of do it here. Or you can have a wall, put a finger by, or a chair or something. Extra challenge. Maybe not hold on to the knee. Can you feel your hip flexor engaging here, lifting up the somewhat heavy leg? Just one more breath. And if you feel it's fun, try to balance as you bring the left leg back. Feet on those train tracks, short train tracks. So I like to have approximately 2 fist distance. If you kind of take those and paint them to the back of the foot there. Lower down so the hip moves in the direction of the short end of the mat. As you sink down, bring your arms up overhead. And as you adjust and maybe go a little bit slower or lower down, maybe you notice your shoulders. We don't want them to be forced forward. We don't want them to be forced backwards, but just somewhere nice, comfortable in front, maybe a little bit in front of your ears. You might want to relax your fingers. No need to hold your fingers in a straight, tight line. Breathe into the chest. Slowly, both hands down, three-legged dog, or that option of tabletop with now your right leg elevated. Kick the heel up, closing the hip so the buttocks are in a straight line. And you might feel a lot of pulling and strength on the right calf here on the back and the Achilles tendon as well. Don't overdo that. You might bend the knee a little bit. Maybe you play with the shoulders, small adjustments there to feel the shoulder blade of the scapula. Engage on the back. Bring the shoulder blade into the back ribs. Right knee down on the mat. Again, option of folding the mat. Left leg out to the side as we did before. Opposite side, of course, coming up, gate lash pose, finding right side alignment. Again, you might stay where you are. And then lean towards your left side from the waist only, so not everything is moving here. Small micro bend in the extended leg there, so we're not hyperextending either. And there is pressure on the pelvic floor here as we're moving to the side and engaging the core, so you might want to have a little bit of activation down there. Holding onto the ball if you like. Directly over the side, so you're not leaning a little bit to the one side or back. Then use the core, your right hand down. Everything, if you haven't moved, will follow the short end of the mat. And then engage the back bottom glute there to push the hip in underneath yourself as you bring the hip up towards the sky as well, and arm up overhead. And don't force a stretch or anything. It's not like it feels like a stretch, but it's not like a deep one that I might feel in pigeon pose or something like that. One more breath. And release all of that tabletop. And you might, do some creative movements in tabletop, whatever you feel like your body needs. And then a back bend. If you can't stay on your knees for that long, you might come up on your feet and just do a supported back bend. It can be camel pose, like regular camel pose. I won't go into that, but everybody can do some sort of a back bend, I guess. So hands either way on the back, lean back, opening up your chest, keeping hip and knees somewhat over each other. And some will bring their hands down on their heel. I have my toes tucked under. Noticing if you tend to lean out to one side or engage one leg more than the other, you might want to try to even things out. And bring all of that back. Slowly take a seat. Feet to the top of the mat, or the front, or whatever you call it. And then you can either go for this one, just regular forward fold over your knees. Maybe your knees are a little bit bent if you feel that is good. Or if you want to do your plow pose, you don't want to look to the side as you do plow pose. Please keep your neck steady and still, so close your eyes. So this would be plow pose. Maybe your feet reaches down on the floor, maybe not. So choose either of these postures, seated, forward fold, or plow. Slowly getting into the more stretchy part. It won't be a long class. If you are in plow pose, slowly bring your knees in. Hold on to everything as you come down on the mat with the feet on the floor. Take a breath there. Those of us who are seated might sit up a little bit tall. And then let's all take a seat on the mat. Just need a little bit more for the shoulders before we come down. So bring the right arm up and behind you, and this is where you might want to use the strap if you know that the other arm can't reach like that. You would bring your strap in the right hand and hold on to the strap with your left. So Jesus wept. We know now that Jesus actually went and resurrected Lazarus, and I would guess that Jesus knew that this was going to happen. So he is not crying because Lazarus, his good friend, died, which was the reason why everybody else was crying. They did not know Jesus was going to resurrect Lazarus. So why do you think Jesus cried? Let's switch to the other arm. So strap in the hand if you want to. Right shoulder girdle, bring that back. Do you think Jesus cried because the crowd was crying and that was why he was, kind of manipulated into crying? Everybody else thought he was crying because of Lazarus. Let go. Maybe you do shoulder circles, and now you can use your strap. If you don't have it, Don't worry. We'll do a spinal twist with a strap. So you, if you have it, can bring the strap around the right foot. Hold on to the strap with the left hand. Extend the left leg out, and then bring a lot of left and right here, right? The foot over yourself onto the side. And you might feel that, ooh, this is stretching a whole lot more on the lumbar part of the spine over the side of the front hip here, top hip. Other arm out. If it's not working for you, just don't extend the leg, don't use the strap. Calm everything with those deep breaths we tried to the beginning of the class and hopefully during the class as well. I don't believe that there is one reason maybe why Jesus cried, but I have an idea in my mind that I want to share with you. I do believe Jesus cried because he saw the suffering of the people around him. He saw their grief. He maybe also have seen their prayers, like, God, heal this man, heal this friend of ours, our brother. And then that didn't happen. So Jesus was crying over Lazarus, but not because he died. He was crying because he saw the pain that everybody was in. Bring yourself out of this stretch. Come back on your back. Take a hold of your left foot, right hand in the strap. Extend the other leg out to the degree that you like, and then roll onto the side, bringing the foot or the knee down on the floor so you relax this top leg. Why is this then important that Jesus cries? Because he sees the pain of these people. Because to me, it reminds me that I do believe that Jesus also cries with me in my suffering. And with the world as well. Where people are in war and conflict, persecuted, or just in pain. Jesus and God did not intend us from the beginning to live in pain, but we chose the freedom, we chose these bad decisions that often brings us into pain. I don't believe Lazarus brought death on himself, but just speaking in general, that we often bring ourselves in pain. We don't have the wisdom to choose the right. And this was not the intent, the purpose with the creation from the beginning. So Jesus cries with us in our suffering. But thank God that it doesn't just stay with that crying, because then nothing would have changed. It's nice to know that somebody cries with you, but that doesn't really change anything necessarily. resting pose. So come down on your back, and you might cover up with a shirt or something so you don't get cold. When you come down on your back, let the feet drop out to each side. Let the hands come down on the mat. And relax everything. Close your eyes if you like. So Jesus did more than cry. He also went on the cross to clear the path so that these often unwise, stupid decisions I made that create suffering in my life and others' lives as well, that can be healed, restored, so I can find hope partially now and forever in heaven. But at least in my life, this short verse means so much. And I will say a short prayer and then I'll stop talking. You can pray along, you can listen as you like. Jesus, thank you for crying with me, for me, with the world, and for the world. And thank you that you have purchased a path out of this suffering for me and the world. Help me live and walk that path. And share the tears that you share with the people in pain. Help me serve like you served. Take a deep inhale and maybe a sigh out through the mouth. Please continue resting on the mat if you know that that's what you need. Maybe some of the images or words just kind of spoke to you. But if you're ready to take a seat, you can wiggle fingers and toes. Hug the knees. And then you can take a seat when you are ready. Don't rush this. But from my heart to yours, thank you for participating. God's peace to you.